Ding, ding, ding. Round two. Josh Edwards, Edwards Painting Co. back for a business breakthrough. I don't know, man. We're about to see if this was a good idea or a bad one.
Yeah, we are, man. But looking to grow through it, of
Cool,
course.
man. Cool. So, man, last time we spoke, you were just getting started, deer in the headlights. Had to introduce you to a marketing agency. You took
Yep.
the advice, you got the CRM. Tell me how those things have contributed to where you're at in the business right now, and then we'll get into the thick of it.
Having the back office stuff straight is immediately impactful and something I'm so glad I did from the jump. From DripJobs, from Gusto to getting these automations in these, we were just talking about it last night. Like, instead of having a bookkeeper or someone that's running my payroll and having a whole person on payroll running this, or having someone doing outbound calls, following up leads, we have DripJobs. That was so key from the beginning. So I'm so glad we did that. I couldn't even imagine doing it differently now. I feel like that's an archaic way to move, and the competitive edge we get from even just those couple little pieces of software that we've put in our business from the beginning, it set us apart, especially in our market space, man, because I don't even know if anyone else is using it.
That's good.
So it's
That's good for you, bad for me.
yeah, right. But yeah, and I'm sure it will. Like, it's not going to be long before you kind of got to, because you're going to hear what competitors and just other people in your market space are doing, and like, even to the Facebook ads, there was really no other Facebook or painters in my market space doing these Facebook ads where you just put a camera in your face. Hey, my name is Josh Edwards from Edwards Painting Company. We're here at this, and you just give them the spiel. It's
Yeah.
authentic,
Right. Right.
not like, it's not super salesy. It's just, this is what it is. This is what we do. Here's some reviews and some customers that say good things about us, and you're a click away from getting an estimate
Right.
on the schedule,
Right.
and the ease of that for customers, having that consistent lead base every day, every other day. I know that we're going to have an opportunity to sell a job. It builds, predictability in the business. It makes you feel like it's a math equation. It's not emotion. It's just,
Mm, I like that.
you put this in and you can be strategic. So really good advice from the jump, man. I'm glad. And we followed a lot of it to the T, and it's served to be successful for us, for sure, man.
Right on, man. So what's going on in the business right now? What's good? What's bad?
Things are good, man. We're a small team. Like, I didn't have my intention to come in my first year and like try and like bring on 3 crews of painters and do, I really wanted to get into this business and build some systems. And I'm still painting, which I don't super mind. Obviously, we want to work towards like getting away from that, but I'm probably painting like 30% of the time now.
Okay.
So things are good, but I think the main reason I wanted to reach out is I really want to refine this process of, I'm getting Facebook leads. They're coming into the pipeline. I have made some kind of custom drips at this point, but I'm still even using like some of the stuff that's you guys just have like on default, which is great. Like, I read through them all and I'm like, yeah, this is fire. Like, there's no reason that I need to change this, but also having like some more ideas on my end of how I think I can really build this system using automations, and also what more I could be doing once a lead comes into the pipeline, to my sales process, to this whole experience, that customer journey you get from the moment you click get quote or you see our ad.
Cool.
And that's where I feel like I'm,
Yeah.
just
Cool.
want to refine it.
Who answers the phone for the business, and what software do you use for that?
I don't use a software, so I just have my phone number. I have a dedicated business phone number. It's not like a personal line or anything, but
Okay. All right. That's one of the problems we want to solve. First off, right? You can't, like, first of all, that piece of hardware that you have, that second phone, if you were to hire somebody, and you had to have heard me say this, so I'm preaching to you, but you're gonna have to hand that to the person who you hire, right? That's your business right there that you have to give to somebody. Now, I'm sure there's a way to split the phone number. It's messy with like Verizon or hardware. Next move is open phone. You talked about the value of these systems. Come on, got to get the cloud-based phone system, port the number to open phone. Now it's in the cloud, right? Sometimes in business, it's not about being ready to make a move. It's having the foundation for when you're ready to make the move. Because right now, that's a blocker, dude. That's what we call a blocker in business. Is like, I can't move forward because this is blocking me, right? So, if we talk about lead nurturing, right? We talk about converting leads. There's a major flaw right now in your process that I could see, and I'll tell you what it is. Okay. Are you answering the phone at 9 o'clock at night?
No,
All right. Do you like answering the phone on the weekends?
no, no.
What happens?
Yeah, it waits till Monday morning,
Who
and
waits?
the customer, the
You think
lead.
so?
No, yeah,
They
yeah,
don't.
exactly. They're moving on. Sure,
Right. They're moving on. Right. So you need to have you have to have awareness of today's buyer, man. And it's changing. This is why businesses fail, is because they don't adjust to the change. Right. So at the end of the day, man, like, we can't think just because someone calls us, they are committed to us, man. Like, this isn't dating, dude. This is a business transaction. You know what I'm saying? We might be able to leave them on red. You know what I'm saying? It's different in
sure.
dating.
Yeah.
But when it comes,
Can't play hard to get in the painting industry, man.
can't play hard to get. You're not in a position to play hard to get. And the moment you start playing hard to get, that's the moment you fail. Business is about servitude. So every area of your business, you should be looking at a way to serve at the highest capacity. And generally speaking, when we serve people, we look from a place of empathy. And that empathy is thinking about what that customer is going through. So think about this for a second, right? Customer gets your name from maybe even a neighbor, dude. Neighbor talks you up, does their job, right? You asked them to, right? You said, please, man, we could use the referrals. Tell your neighbors about us. Tell your friends about us. Neighbor talks you up. Dude, how much effort is it to actually get somebody to go through the process of setting aside some time to have that conversation with the contractor about the project they've been putting off?
Right.
They
Yeah.
get the number, they get the business card, they make the call. You don't answer. So whatever trust was built by that neighbor is not compromised, because
Do you think that in the because I almost see it and I've made sense of it in my mind, and I could be selling myself a dream, but do you have any sense of it like from a 9 to 5 standpoint? Like, because from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday to Friday, unless my hands are full, I'm up on the top of a ladder, I'm gonna answer that phone in 2 rings. So if you were to make that call at 8 p.m. on a Saturday, do you think that customer really has like a full expectation of I got a contractor on the phone ready to sell me this job? Now that is obviously, if you did do that, you're going above and beyond, and you're serving at the highest level. But that was something in my mind that was like I want a, getting inside that customer's mind of what that
yeah, this
expectation really
isn't the
is.
80s, dude. I mean, at
Right?
the end of the day, man, like, these phones are never off. And on your business profile, it probably says that you're open.
Yep. Does.
I mean, so I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. What matters is, and I'm just giving you the example of a nighttime phone call. What about the weekends when you're hanging with your family or your girl, or you're doing stuff and you're busy? You don't really want to be thinking about business. So you're talking about, let's say somebody calls you Saturday morning at 9 a.m., right? You're maybe sleeping in, or maybe you're doing something. You're just not in that business mindset. You know that they call. You're just like, dude, I'm not with it right now. I'll get to it Monday. We're talking about 50 plus hours that go by. And then you get hit hard Monday morning with things that happen. Then you try to call back and they don't answer. The momentum's gone. And if you want to separate yourself, you got to make sure that momentum continues. And you put systems in place to make sure that happens. So the one I'm talking about is open phone. Missed call comes in, boom, set up the autoresponder to put the DripJobs link. So at least that customer can check the box that they got the appointment submitted. That's all you're doing. That's all they want. You know what
Am
I'm
I right?
saying? So
Yep.
that's the journey that we need to be looking at. That's the mindset of a business owner that understands what their customers go through. So, like, for example, let's say you owned an airport and you were in charge of making sure that customers were taken care of. Dude, you're looking at every element of that journey to get a customer to take off. And as a business owner, you should be looking at that, man. You should be like, dude, like, first of all, the processes you have in place work, but they're definitely not optimized, right? You can't be comfortable with your processes just because they work. That's a CEO's mentality, chief efficiency officer. So the fact that you told me, hey, I paint, means you're just okay with it. You don't truly understand the essence of business. Facts. You can't be okay with that. You're losing money and opportunity because you feel like you need to be on the job. because you didn't properly delegate leadership. So therefore, you have a system that is okay, but it's not perfect. And you have no desire to change it to make it to where you can leave that job and go do other things.
Yep. My mindset with it was like when I stepped into the industry and decided to launch my business, I said for this first year, I'm gonna get a crew and keep my crew busy every single day. And we made it through the winter. We didn't miss a single day of work. Like I'm gonna make sure that I can keep 3 guys busy every single day. I'm gonna work some if I can speed up the efficiency so we can get to the next job. And I'm gonna build systems in my
Okay.
business and understand this
Okay.
model to a T.
Okay.
So I don't honestly the end goal for me, it's not about I don't want to let customers down by trying to grow too quickly before my systems are so refined that I know I can give you this experience every single time we touch a job. And maybe I understand a lot of it now. Maybe I could have grown to another level and had 2 crews running and I'm just, running this
Sure.
valley up and down selling
I'm the
jobs.
biggest dude. I'm the biggest fan of growing slow. The problem is you just don't know what to do with your time. I mean, if you knew what I knew about business, and this is why I'm coaching you because I want you to know this stuff.
Yeah.
You would be pissed off that you have to go paint because there's so many other areas that need refinement that no one else is doing right now that you think are working, but they're not sustainable for growth, right? So one of the things that you're concerned about is lead nurturing, right? Like converting these leads. Dude, you need to be in the office calling, 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 calling. No one's doing that right now. You're busy painting, 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 painting. And right now, it might not feel like you need to make that move, but you're going to face it, bro. It's coming. And guess what? You're not going to be ready because you waited until you needed to make the change instead of expecting growth and making the change to prepare for the change. Make sense?
Yeah, that's perfect. Yep. It's good information, man.
That's what I'm saying. You know what
And
I
I
mean?
think there's a self reflection in that too of like, and the painting contractors out there that paint, like painting is easy, and it's honestly an easier thing for us. And I
Yeah.
fight with this mentally, where
Yeah.
it's like getting inside of DripJobs and creating new drips and like doing all this on the computer, like
Props
it's
for
a
that.
lot easier for me to go grab the Purdy Pro and go
I'm with
smash
you.
a
And I
job, bro.
know that that's hard. And that's the same that look, but that's what leadership is you got to pave the way, do the hard stuff to create a great business for your team. You're not always going to be able to hire out everything, man. We live in an economy that like everyone thinks we just sometimes you just need to be versatile. You know what I'm saying? Switch up the flow, bro. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
Sometimes you
100%.
got to switch up the flow. You know what I
Let's
mean?
go, Tanner. Drop a bar for us,
I
man.
might have to, bro. But that's what I'm saying is that sometimes you have to be versatile, and it's okay. Even if your versatility, even if you kind of did like an average job at building out those drips, at least you know how it works. So when you hire someone to do it, you're not in the dark, right? You're not like completely oblivious to what the expectations are, right? So for me, I always try to know a little bit about every area of my business, right? Look, I can cook a steak, but not as good as a chef, but I can cook a steak. I know what a good steak tastes like, but I don't know how to get it there the way a seasoned chef would,
Sure.
right? So if I own a restaurant, at least I've developed the taste of a steak. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's the mentality. It's like I
Yeah.
need to know because at the end of the day, my customers are going to experience that. So I have to be the customer of whatever it is I'm selling. So what I'm saying is that you're saying, oh, I'm painting 30% of the time. Number one, I'm going to identify right now. It's simply because you don't know what else to do with your time. Because if you knew how valuable your time was outside of that, you need to now transition to the salesperson of your company. And if you hired a salesperson for Edwards Painting, would you want him to be painting?
No, of
Why
course
not?
not.
What would you
Well,
want him to be doing?
I mean, he's selling all day.
Selling all
If
day.
you,
He'd be
and
hitting the phone. He'd
it
be
would be great to
networking.
be also versatile.
He'd be networking. He'd be going in the realtor offices. He'd be joining a networking group, right? That's what he would be doing. That's what you need to be doing. You need to get the painting figured out, even if it's just one crew. It's okay. Establish leadership, create the SOP. You're also going to be the project manager. You're going to start the job and finish the job. You're going to be in touch with the customer. You're going to drop in and bring lunch. But dude, you need to throw away your paintbrushes, bro, or give them away. I don't even have one, bro.
I'm sure you don't. Yeah, I'm
Not even
sure.
for my house. I don't even, if I needed a paintbrush right now, bro, I couldn't find it. I don't have one.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, you know how many
The mentality is really does stem from the right place, but you're absolutely right. It's like there's way more powerful tasks for me to be doing rather than just trying to go push forward our production a little faster. I need to jump on some of the things that I know in my mind need refinement in our sales process, in our lead
let me
nurturing.
ask you this, man. Like your crew. Tell me about your crew, man. What do you got? Who's the roster, man? What are we looking at here?
Yeah, so there's a team of three guys. One who's 8, 9 years experience, same age as me, he's 27. So a younger dude with lots of experience. He's the only one that I actually took like through a full hiring process. The other guys on my team were like people I knew that were looking for an opportunity and we just ran with it. And they've actually been incredible.
Perfect.
Um, and
Who's the leader?
the lead, so 8 years experience, his name's Justin.
Okay.
And he's a good
What's
leader,
his title in the company?
just a lead painter, the craftsman is what I call him.
Craftsman. Let me ask you this, because titles matter, and you need to understand that. You're a business owner. Title doesn't matter to you. You get the title of founder, CEO. Okay. What's the difference between somebody being called a helper and a craftsman? Tell me, what do you think that means? If you got hired for a painting company and your title was helper,
Right, yeah, there's a
what
certain
does that
level of
feel like, dude? Like you're just you're helper. You're
yeah,
at the lowest level.
yeah.
So then you're telling me that you're lead, but you also alluded to that he's the craftsman. Okay. If you're trying to escape, you have to understand that the most important element is who's interacting with the customer. And you know this, is it
Yep.
not? Not the craftsman.
No, it's certainly me,
Do you
talking
feel
to
like that's your most important the reason why you're there is to keep the flow going and to interact with the customer and make sure the customer feels comfortable throughout the duration of the project?
yeah, yeah, I feel like that's my role,
And if that
100%.
was taken away from you, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, no, that experience that we've been refining is gonna go away, and it's just gonna be a paint job.
A paint job. And why do you feel that is? Do you not feel like the person who you call the crew lead has the ability to communicate effectively and manage the project?
I think we've done a lot of interiors in a area where there's a lot of snowbirds. Like the vast majority of all the houses we
Okay.
painted all winter, there's
Sure.
nobody around.
Okay.
We still have a standard of cleanliness and how we design our job site. There hasn't been a lot of experiences to have that customer to lead connection. It's always been kind of guided through me. And I'm on the job, at least once a day. I'm like in doing this, doing that.
Got it.
What's
Got it.
not micromanaging. Like I
Sure.
just had a conversation the other day. Like, hey man, when I come on this job, like I don't become the lead craftsman now. I'm not gonna tell you how to do this.
Yeah.
I'm a hand. Put me on the ladder.
Sure.
Where do you
And
want me?
I can appreciate that. I
Yeah,
appreciate that. But the thing is, you're going to be prohibited until you learn how to create leadership. A craftsman is not a leader. A craftsman is a good painter, but leadership is a new world for some people, which is managing the team and managing the time frame. Oh yeah, and managing the customer. And only you can give that authority in your kingdom, bro. You're the one in the way. And as long as you're in the way, everything's going to be dependent on your time. You are not that valuable, bro. And I hate to say it like that. And you're the type of
it's
person that
important
wants
for all of us to know that.
it is. It is. I can't grow drip jobs without the people that are cranking. Dude, I can't grow premium painting without the great people that go to work every day. So you understand that concept. You just said it. I'm a helping hand. I'm here to serve. Well, you know what you can do? Serve your team and establish leadership that's not you and actually grow your business in ways that require you right now. So you don't have to hire someone else right now, like a salesperson. You're not needed on the paint job. Homeowners can paint. All you need to do is make sure they're clean, they're on time, and the promises were kept. Like
Management.
it's not that serious. And customers do not care as much as you think they do. They really don't.
They're busy too. You
They're
know,
busy too.
they
They
just
don't
don't want to see
care.
any red
They just
flags. They
want
don't
the
want to see a
job done.
clean house.
Think about you when you hire somebody, man. Like imagine if like you go to a restaurant, are you upset if the owner of the restaurant doesn't cook the food?
Absolutely not.
You don't care. You just
Yeah,
want good food, don't you? And
I'd
you'll
actually prefer the chef to be back
and
there.
you
I know the
prefer the
owner
chef,
has too much
right?
stuff on his
And you
plate.
would actually prefer to be talking to the owner about how he built his restaurant and how wonderful the chef is. Facts?
Yep. Yep.
You know what I'm
I've
saying?
definitely ran into customers that are like, wanting me to paint. I've noticed that, and that's actually like worth entertaining, like how the sales process goes. Because I think probably 4 or 5 times now on an estimate, I'm delivering an estimate, and they just have the question like, "So are you the one painting?" Like, and then there was even one customer that requested that I would be there
Yeah. You know
every
why?
inch of the day.
You know why? I'll tell you exactly why that is. Because you're not selling your team, because you don't believe in them to be able to accomplish it without you. That's something you probably don't even mention. That's why they have a question about it.
Yep, that's great. Yeah, that's to a T. Not that I don't trust them to do it. I do trust them, but it's not part of my
It's
sales
not part of
process.
your
I don't
sales
bring up how
process.
much the team really is great and how good they are at their job. That's
Right.
great.
So they're so they're curious, right?
So they don't know.
Makes sense, don't it?
Yeah, they don't know.
Like, who's
Yeah,
doing it, right? Like, you haven't
yeah,
mentioned them. Usually, if you're excited. I mean, so when I come in, I say, listen, my team's amazing. Like, they're not asking me. They're like, I don't want him. I want the team that he's talking about.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I don't
And
even have a paintbrush, man. You
don't
don't
even
want
you
me
don't
painting.
want me painting. I'll tell you that. I've said that. I've said, you really don't want me to paint. I
Yeah,
am not your guy. But my
yeah.
team, the team that I recruited, this is their focus. They love this. And I have an amazing craftsman that's been with me. He's 28, young kid, but he's, man, one of the hardest workers. And he's been with me for X amount of time. So much so that I made him the crew leader. He's no longer a craftsman, he's a crew leader. Just so you know, generally speaking, what happens when you give somebody a new title? What usually comes with that?
Pay raise and some more responsibilities.
Sure.
But
What's he driving to work?
he does have his own vehicle right now. Yep.
Okay. How do you get tools to the job?
I have truck and trailer, like,
You have a
for my
truck and
company, so I make sure the trailer's there,
does
all
he
the
have a
tools.
truck?
Yeah, he has a truck.
All right. Well, he needs to start bringing the trailer, because that's another thing that's your ball and chain.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah.
Toting that thing every inch
Fucking unhinging that thing.
everywhere, man,
Heck
yeah.
no, dude. Give him a $2 an hour raise. Give him
Mhm.
the title. Give him the trailer, and make sure you have good insurance. These are the moves you need to make. Guess what? No one's going to come in and make these moves for you, Josh.
No, yeah, and that's the sense of the call, man. It's just, like, refining the sales process. I have, questions. I knew we would just, talk and get to it, but, about how to really foster that leadership in my guys, and I've already been hinting at it with, conversations I've had with him because first couple weeks he was with us.
Josh, it's not about hinting, it's about being deliberate. And that starts in the hiring process. You got to know the end from the beginning, man. You got to know that, like, I can't grow this without leaders. So in my hiring process, I'm looking for leaders that will eventually turn into crew leaders, and being deliberate about their growth and not just hinting at, hey, I might do this, I might do this. It's like, dude, you're not going to dig your roots in shallow soil. You want someone that's deliberate, dude. People dig their roots in your words and your promises, and they wait for you to keep them or break them. They're used to people breaking them, so all you have to do is keep a couple of them, and you'll already have people bought in for the long term. Be deliberate in your word, dude. If you say something to somebody who works for you, man, hit it, or come up with a really good reason why you can't. And that's important to me, at least from a leadership. That's leadership, man. It's ultimately people who lead. You signed up for this. You became a leader when you signed up to be a painting business owner. Okay. People are looking to you to give them purpose. So if you don't have a plan for them, then they're looking to you, and there's no connection there. It's like, okay, well, he's not providing me the next step. He doesn't even know what the next step is. That's why you always need to be one step ahead. That's why you need to have the systems in place. That's why it's important to get the foundation right. Then once you get the foundation right, then you create a roadmap for that growth. And you say, hey, listen, man, this is my goal. On this date, we're going to sit down and we're going to go over this. Or, you know what? We're going to go out to eat, man. We're going to talk about what I need from you. These are the responsibilities that I want to give you. This is the expectation. I no longer can serve the company in the role of a painter. I need to grow the company. And that means more money and more opportunity for all of us. Are you bought into this idea, or is this something that you don't want to do? But I need to know. I need to know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just
I
being
mean,
deliberate.
Yeah, I think that's great. Obviously, the goal is to grow the company and take it to a much higher scale, which I don't know. I haven't defined 5 years of where
Don't
I
worry
see
about
it.
that, man. Don't get caught up in that number, man. It doesn't
Right,
matter. What matters is that you can stay in business in all weathers of change because you have a foundation that is solid, and that's in your leaders and the people that come to work for you each day, to where you can trust them and they are bought into your vision, but you have got to start creating leadership, and it needs to start ASAP. It's going to be uncomfortable. They're going to make mistakes. It's natural. You just need to be there to catch them, right? First thing is, you might have longer job times because you're not doing it. You need to be okay with that. You're probably not going to make as much money because you're moving the jobs along a little bit quicker. You
I
need to be
definitely
okay with
noticed that, and that's why
it. Yeah.
that's another reason I show up and start
All
going
right.
crazy
But
when
guess
the people
what?
right.
The reason is because no one has ownership of that responsibility but you, because you won't pass it on. The expectation is with a crew leader, it's like, dude, if you want this raise and you want this opportunity, your job is to get jobs done on time. But then again, if you don't tell them what the time frame is, how can you hit a goal that doesn't exist?
Right, of course.
You know what I'm saying? So this needs to be the focus right now, man, is getting you to where you can actually focus on sales, growth, networking,
It's
and
it's
business.
clear looking at it, because that's the truth of it. As long as you're on the tools, as long as you're on the job, you're honestly impeding on another person's job. No matter if I come
Yeah,
on here and say, "Hey, man, you're
100%.
the leader," you still come to me when the question is asked. And you're still referring to me. You lose that sense of like I'm driving the boat now, which you want. Anyone that's a high value guy,
Yeah.
he's gonna want that role to be driving the boat.
It took me
And
8 years to get no phone calls before 12 o'clock.
no
I have
phone
my
calls.
phone. Nobody calls me.
Yeah,
Sometimes I get a little like, concerned, like, is everything good? And that's just from people that have just constantly been trained not to ask me questions, and instead learn the muscle of figuring it out and not being afraid to make mistakes. You paint the wrong color. What am I going to do? I'm not going to fire you. Go figure it out. Go get the right color. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you.
yeah,
Customers upset. I don't know. I'm not on the job. Make them happy. Right. And it's just like a knowing, dude, of like, I don't have to worry about being the answer for everybody, bro. And that's because it's just took time to train. So it might take you 8 years, but at least you know the roadmap to get there. It starts with one crew, and then you just do it again and again and again.
yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's man, just in the first 7 months, and I wanted to say this while we were on there, just for anyone that might have caught our first podcast, take that leap, man. It is the best thing I ever did for my family, for everything that I'm on. Jump off that cliff. You're gonna figure it out. You're gonna build the plane on the way down. It's gonna get rocky, but it's so worth it. It's so fruitful. There's so much to learn, and you're gonna constantly learn and you'll just figure these things out. Like I feel so I didn't know if I was cut for it. I wasn't sure like how this was all gonna play out. I never had a
Yeah.
contract in business, but it
Right.
shook out. So
Yeah.
jump, bro.
That's
Jump
awesome.
and make sure you get some systems in your business when you do it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
We'll
gonna
do a
help.
business breakthrough if you're on the fence. Let's get that. We'll get you some truth. Sometimes they don't come back, man. So, you
Yeah.
know, but I see, but this just shows that you did the work, man. You put in the work in the quiet time. You're building. This stuff ain't easy, man. This is why I do this, just because I know that there's a lot of people that there's not a lot of real information out there. I've done it. I've been there. I've built the business. I've dealt with the people, which is the hardest part of business. But I also want you to understand, man, you cannot be complacent in any area of your business. This is just the game you signed up for, right? Things might seem to be going well. Always have that inclination to double check on an area that you haven't looked at in a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, like looking at just kind of like that phone system. That's a good analogy. It's like maybe you didn't even really consider that to be a problem.
Right. Yeah.
It's a
And
problem.
it certainly is. Being able to, the drips though, it's the same with the emails. Like, so just to re-hit on what open phone actually does. So if they call this number and we miss it, they get an automated text message and
Yeah.
that just goes into drip jobs.
Automated text message. It sends them a link. Hey, sorry we missed your call outside of business hours, or we're currently on the other line. If you're calling for an estimate, click this link.
Yep.
Done. And then we have an automation that updates the contact information in OpenPhone. So it puts their name in there as a contacts, and now they're in our system. So, I mean, it's just, again, man, this is just kind of refining systems and making it easy, never, not missing out on opportunity, man. We're talking about thousands of dollars that could just be coming into your store, looking around, nobody greets them, and they leave. I've done that. Have you done that?
I've absolutely done that. Yeah.
Right? You look around, dude. You're like, "Oh, no one's here." I mean, I'm out. Like I've done that. Actually, my daughter and I, we went for ice cream after like her gymnastics or whatever, and I looked online. The place had great reviews, dude. And I'm like, "All right, let me go check this out." I go inside. Nobody greeted. No one was there. They were in the back, just ruffling around, like doing stuff. I don't know what they were doing. No one else was eating ice cream. And
I'm going to
for
get my
me,
cookies and cream somewhere else.
I'm out. I'm going to Cold Stone. I'm going to the franchise that has a SOP that says someone has to be at the counter all day during the shift, right? Like these are the things that big businesses already implement and understand. You need to catch up to it. So when people see your business and a big business, they don't get scared because big businesses are coming. The other two people that they call have the automated message that go out, have the system in place, and you don't get a chance.
My
This is
market
why.
space may surprise you, but yes,
What's
and I
that?
don't want to. I said my market space may surprise you, man. Like I don't know how many people are. We're a small market. It's only about 100,000, 109,000 people in our service area. But I really use, like the community online
Bro, what
to
what city are
really
you in?
drive. I'm in Kalispell, Flathead Valley, Montana. The city's Kalispell, and then the service area is the Flathead Valley. So it encompasses about 5 cities.
Let me just see what you guys got here.
A lot of houses to
What's the
paint.
big city?
Kalispell is like the main hub. It's
How do I
central.
spell
That's
that?
where.
Okay, I see it. I've never heard of this town.
Come on, man.
But
Come
I'll
out here.
tell
I'm
you
taking you
what.
fly
I'll
fishing,
tell you
Tanner. What's up, man?
but let me tell you this. You got some competition out there.
Of course.
You're not listed in Google in Kalispell Painter, which is, you know,
I actually
that's
just looked
top.
it up before the call. You don't see it there?
No, and that's because you looked it up. You have to ask somebody else to look it up.
Tanner looked it up. We're not there. Why not?
It knows you, and
To
it
be
knows
honest, man, like Google, we have like make sure we get Google reviews. I think we have about 20 now since we started.
that's good.
Yeah, so it's
How
I
many
think the
jobs
lead
have you done since you started?
30 maybe.
Okay. Okay. So
And we
pretty
have
good ratio.
nothing negative. Just some
I'm gonna
people
send
just
this to you. I'm gonna text you this real quick
yeah. Go ahead.
so you could just see the rankings.
I oh,
But
I, I know Hagstad got 61. I know Kalispell House
yeah,
Painters got 25. I'm watching. We coming. It's
I know
just
you're watching and I know you're
look,
coming, but the reality
face
is that this is a move you need to make, man, when it comes time is to find that company that can help get you up top, especially in a small town. It really shouldn't be that difficult. It only looks like one company is Artisan Roofing and Dam is ranking for painters, which is pretty
they
bad.
don't.
So, I mean, dude, that's an advantage, man. It's like, dude, if I'm moving there and I'm looking for a painting company, I'm not calling you. I just want you
You
to know.
know, I even talked to not to say that Micah Micah McLean met him out there in San Diego when we did PaintCon. But he had even told me when I talked to him, like niching down, like we really got big into Facebook and you're just dividing your energy, like where you actually can put it. And he said, man, it's not a bad idea to just get your Facebook really sharp, focus on that. And then when you're ready to leap into Google, like we have a website, we have reviews on Google, we're nurturing it to a sense, but we
Yeah,
haven't started marketing, really
right.
doing the SEO process yet.
Yeah, man. These again, man.
More
This is where
reason not to be
this
on a
is where your
paintbrush.
this is where your time needs to go, right? These are the things that you need to be drawing out on a mind map and learning about and digging into because the fact of the matter is that you can't ignore Google. I mean, that should be like the gold star standard of where you put your energy and time. At the end of the day, dude, people are moving to your town. And at the end of the day, people live in your town, and chances are they all know what Google is. And chances are, if they need your service, which is 50% of your market, the people actually need painting in order to move in or move out, in order to get from point A to point B, which is to sell their house or move in, right? Where do you think they're going to look? Are you
Yeah,
going on
Google search
Facebook
painters near me.
when your AC goes out? Do you go look them up on Facebook or Google?
Nope. Yeah, Google for sure.
So you want need-based customers. Why do you want need-based customers? Because they're the most committed. And if you're busy fighting with Facebook customers all day over price, it's because they're the lowest level of intent.
I was gonna say that, man, because when I first stepped in, it was the heat of the summer, a lot of need-based selling. Like my close rate was like probably like 80,
Yeah,
90%, you know? And then we'd hit
right.
the winter and it was a wake-up call to me of like how much my process really needs refined because you're
Yeah,
no longer selling a need. This is I want my kitchen and bathrooms repainted, maybe if it's all perfect.
right.
So we've seen all that drop a lot, and
Yeah,
that's
you're gonna see. I mean, at the end of the day, man, like, again, if you have the money, let's get Google running, man. We need to make sure that is alive and well, especially in today's day and age, man. We're missing out on important opportunity. And again, this is all an investment, bro. I mean, like, it's easy investment. I mean, the ROI is right there, you know?
what would you recommend to really get that? Like, are you marketing on Google? Are you spending like ad
Yeah,
dollars there?
yeah, of course. Yeah, just ranking at the top. Like, if you look at that picture I sent you, you're gonna see at the top. You see that Google guaranteed in that picture for artisan roofing. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
I've looked that up before, so they're actually running ads.
Well, they're a roofing company running ads on a painting
They don't
term.
paint either. I know those guys.
Right. So, don't go with whoever they hired, but you want to be up there. You want it to say, Edwards painting at the top where it says Google guaranteed. Like, that's what you need, right? So just keep that in mind, man. And again, when you're searching for your Google term, you can't do it yourself because it knows who you are and it's going to give you that, you know, it's like a fake thing. So you could do it in incognito mode. That's another way to do it to see where you rank,
Okay. Yeah.
something to think about.
Yeah, I thought this whole time we started getting the reviews coming in and we were catching up pretty quick for only being in business for 7 months. Like
Yeah. Keep
highest review
going.
painting company in our valley is 61.
I suggest offering incentive to the team, man. So for me, every review we get, whoever worked on the job gets $50.
Nice.
Instead of me being the only one that's asked the customer if they can leave a review, my team is dropping in gems. Hey, leave us that review. Hey, leave us that review. If they do 2 to 3 jobs, sometimes they do 3 jobs in a week. So you're looking
Yes,
at
yesterday I was with one of the ladies. We just finished doing her house, and she tried to leave us a Google review, but she had not verified her email address yet. So I got on the phone and helped her verify her
that's
email
it.
address so we
Get
could
that
get this
review, brother.
review.
I love it.
Like,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
gotta
Hey,
get it, man.
need that.
And she made this whole paragraph, and
Oh
she
man,
texted it
you
to me. I
gotta
was like,
have
"Oh,
that. That's
we
awesome.
gotta have that on
I'll
there."
be over in a few minutes. Let's get that squared away.
Right? Yeah, but I see it, man, for sure.
Was
Google
this
and
helpful?
Facebook is, of course, it was every
Cool,
time.
man. Cool. Maybe we'll bring you back for round 3, man. Get some of those things squared away.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the time, Tim.
All right, brother.